Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets.
All right, we're back. Somebody stole Jimmy's bear.
The bear is missing. So, Amber Alert, call your friends, hide your wife, beat your wife, hide your kids, however you do it. We want the
However you
bear
process
back.
these things.
I've replaced the bear for now.
Some bacon strips.
Yeah, but I mean, they kind of look little bear up there, just hanging out. But I mean,
You ever give him the pepperoni? Does Dante get any pepperoni?
No, we give him chunolas. You know what that is? Looks like a giant, like granola bar, like a Butterfinger.
No, he prefers peanut butter jars.
That
Yeah.
too, yeah. But the chunolas, yeah, it's like a Butterfinger, long, man.
Like a payday. Yeah, it looks like a
Yeah,
payday.
it does. It looks like like a whatever those are with all the nuts on and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers,
All right.
boys.
Cheers, y'all. So we're here to recap week 1 of the NFL. Decent starting weekend. I mean, it was just great to have football back. I missed a lot of it just because I was at the Bucks game in Minnesota. We'll get to that later. We're not going to start off with Bucks. We got to start off with the most impactful thing that happened in week 1, which is Aaron Rodgers going down with the Achilles injury. So Monday Night Football, Jets versus Bills. 4th play into the game, Aaron Rodgers has to try to roll out to evade a rusher, tears his Achilles. Really just, it's a huge letdown. Even for me, not being super invested in the Jets, it's just a letdown knowing that that's not going to be part of the storyline this year. Rodgers really is my favorite player to watch the last 15 to 20 years. I just love watching the dude play. So, yeah, I'm disappointed.
More than Jameis?
Well, Jameis hasn't been around for 15 to 20 years. I'd put
we're already backpedaling.
If we drafted like our favorite quarterback seasons in the last 15 to 20 years, I'd take Jameis 30 for 30 year somewhere in my draft because it was just an amazing roller coaster ride.
Didn't he throw a pick that year that knocked him out of the playoffs or something like that?
I don't know that they had a chance at the playoffs anymore, but he threw his 30th interception in overtime the last game of the season.
Six,
yeah.
Right? Like
so I was walking back from taking a piss at the start of overtime, and I don't even get to my couch. Jameis is already in the middle throwing the pick 6 to end the season. So that was, you got to laugh. You just got to laugh. But
yeah, that was.
What do you guys think? I mean, I don't think they have a shot to make the playoffs with Zach Wilson. So, Brad, do you disagree, or do you got a guy you'd like him to go get?
They just beat one of the best teams in the league without Aaron Rodgers.
They did. It took a lot of kind of quirky shit.
What are they going to have to do differently against a worse team? Run the ball 25 to 35 times. Let your defense win. If Zach Wilson cannot turn the ball over, it's a lot like
I don't know if he can do that. I just don't even know if he can do that.
When he's got Rodgers in his ear every play, maybe.
Do you think it's worth a shot rolling with him?
Who else are you going to go to?
Be there though.
Yeah,
he'll be on the sideline with a torn ACL every play.
They made it sound like he's going to be there.
I think he will. I think he's kind of changed.
Maybe not on game day. Maybe in a booth somewhere. But I agree. When you bring that up, I can't see him out there on a little cart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like recovering
with a headset on
to whatever great doctors he has to go to, and then getting back for their game when he can't really do shit. Like I don't know.
I think this team's built to run the ball, though.
He should have stayed in the darkness longer.
He should have.
Maybe the darkness lied to him.
That's true. I've heard about that before. I was gonna wear a black shirt today, actually, to mourn the loss of Aaron Rodgers. Possibly
just have the lights off on your camera for the whole time.
Yeah. Really
I'm in a darkness retreat.
I'm not.
I tore my Achilles last year just around this time. I know what he's battling through, and I actually reached out to him on Twitter. I never got a reply, but I feel like he's just getting a lot of texts from everybody right now. So, but I told him, hey, you just gotta
lots of PlayStation, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Get real good at chill and
just elevate that bad boy.
Yeah, man. Find your way, dude. Because it can get pretty dark down here.
It's close. I feel like it's like a 50% darkness retreat.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'm saying I got Dante and shit. We got the bacon bits. And yeah, come on. So, but this is a good environment. You sit in the cold, couple of wobblies, you know what I'm saying? And some donuts. I got donuts over there, which are good for it. But yeah, so I know what I feel terrible for the guy because I did it the hard way.
Yeah. With a lot higher stakes.
I was hobbling around. But
I remember some stories. I won't even.
But for real,
keep it
sucks
there.
that happened, man. On the fourth play, I think all of us as football fans, it was like, damn it, really? Like, and I just watched all the Hard Knocks, kind of got caught up with him. He had kind of got back to the guy that I didn't hate him so much over the offseason. I hated him. They talked about him too much. I don't know if that's his fault or just media. Made me hate him, that's for sure. And then in Hard Knocks, it was like he just has fun, and that would suck. You move everything. Hey, it's not his whole family, but all of your shit there in the first 4 plays, you're out. Not where do you play next? All that shit's like, do you play?
Does he even play again? Is it worth even recovering?
That's the question, right?
Yeah. So I got potential replacement options. There's the safe way to go. Jacoby Brissett.
I know.
He's an upgrade from Zach Wilson, in my opinion. Colt McCoy is a name I like a little bit. I think he's a safe pick. And then if you want to get risky, you go Jameis. You trade like a 3rd or a 4th round pick for Jameis, and you say, this dude threw for 5,000 yards. If we just only let him throw like 20 passes a game,
that won't happen.
His 20 passes a game are better than Zach Wilson's 20 passes a game.
You just contradicted yourself. You worried about Zach Wilson turning the ball over too much, so you're going to bring in Jameis to turn the ball over.
Jameis has looked more like an NFL quarterback throughout his career than Zach Wilson ever has.
You want to talk? I don't think they're trading for anybody, for one. If they do, I think, honestly, the guy who makes the most sense is the Cowboys' Cooper Rush. He's 4-1
That's another
when he
good
started.
name.
They just traded for Trey Lance, so they are going to have him for a while. Deal him, get everything you got for Lance.
I actually like that name. That's a good call.
That's a good call. And it's funny when you brought up Trey Lance too, because it's like, damn, Rodgers getting hurt was like a week. I mean, they could have made maybe that trade because he might even be an upgrade.
Think what they could have got for him.
Well,
you know what I mean?
He seems like a better Wilson kind of maybe. I don't know. Like
I don't know. We're unsure about him too. We just have never seen.
But is anybody more ready to step into this offense than Zach Wilson? For this team, I mean, this is a team ready to win a playoff game.
Not in the next couple weeks, but I really say you bring in somebody safe like Jacoby Brissett. And that way, if Zach Wilson loses 4 in a row, you have some sort of a safety plan to maybe save the season.
Why do people think the Commanders are going to just trade Brissett?
I mean,
right? Because
for the right price, for a 3rd round pick, I think they would. He did look pretty bad. Almost lost to the Cardinals.
I mean, you trade your backup when your starter's a rookie. That doesn't make much sense. That'd be like the Colts trading away Gardner Minshew and Richardson can't even get through his first full game.
Well,
it just doesn't make sense.
I just think the Jets need Brissett more than the Commanders do, because what are the Commanders once Brissett gets in there? They're not any better or really any worse. The Jets, at least they have the upside there where they have a Super Bowl contending roster where if you just get a quarterback to manage shit, you can make the playoffs, and who knows? The Commanders, you wouldn't say the same about them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seems early to be trading for QBs.
I felt so bad for their coach, man, because the Jets defense is so fucking good, and they were like, they came out ready to play. They played one of the best teams in the NFL. They got the biggest gut punch you could ever imagine on Monday Night Football. And then they were down 13-3. Like, we're not even talking about. They came all the way back.
Still an incredible win. Yeah, it really was.
Defense shut them down, dude. Sauce Gardner, they're on point. I mean, Diggs he got his, but like by the end of the game when they're double covering him and they're throwing picks, just throwing it up into the end zone. I think the Bills, dude, they need to figure their shit out because their window might be.
Is it gone?
It might be, dude. It's getting to this point where it's like, all right, guys. Is Josh Allen that good, or is like, I don't know. Is the AFC?
I agree because they kind of
like, I don't know. Last night he looked like shit, man. And I know their Jets defense is good, but they're starting to be like, man, hey, let's get it. If you guys are a Super Bowl team, we're gonna have to talk about y'all all the fucking time. Why don't you go out there and beat the Jets without Aaron Rodgers? Like beat the team that they probably beat twice last year. So
I'm not quite there with the Bills yet, where I'm like really, really concerned. But say they do have a down year and miss the playoffs, you do got to make some
they do have a down
serious changes. You probably get rid of the coach if they don't make the playoffs this year. I'd say you get rid of McDermott.
That's tough too, because I like him, man. And he'd get a good job somewhere else
when he's calling the defense.
It's just crazy, man. The way, I mean, obviously, but injuries, it's just like, dude, watching Aaron Rodgers on Hard Knocks, it's like they're fun, like they're gonna be cool, and then boom, and now, yeah, they're gonna win. They're probably gonna win 9-8 game, whatever.
Yeah.
But everything that they had in mind just went away, and it's fucked up.
It sucks. It really sucks.
Is Warner a free agent? Because like that worked for us that time.
Bring Philip Rivers.
Yeah, give Philip Rivers a call. Get him away from his kids.
Rivers.
That's not possible. He's probably got one in every state by this fucking point, man.
Yeah, but he wants to get away from him, you know? So why not go back and play some football?
Big Ben?
Gosh darn it, I'd like to get away from these kids.
Big Ben probably could play a little left tackle, too. He's probably about 300 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm sure Big Ben is pretty fat by now. A couple years retired. The opposite of an offensive lineman. He just blows up. Yeah, I could see it.
Biker gang.
Yeah.
It's like those running backs that retire and just put on 100 pounds.
Oh, my God. Maurice Jones-Drew, dude. Yeah. A lot of them. It's crazy, dude. And then you see the
Dorsey Levens, Deuce Staley.
Like, the old linemen are like, boy, what you been eating?
Yeah, they look like a shrunk lineman.
Yeah.
Brad, speaking of, I mean, possibly putting on some poundage, I'm just looking at the Budweiser stack behind you. We're up to a 1 tower of 3. Are we going to get the double stack back? And if we do get the double tower back, how many weeks does it take of NFL football?
We try to just cycle through. We don't like them to stay around too long.
Yeah.
So it's 5 high total. Weekly beer count we're talking.
We don't need to talk.
I don't know.
Here, crazy idea.
I'm not only Budweiser though anymore. So like Yingling, now that it's been
Yingling's great. Mm-hmm.
Busch Light, I'll go with. That's about the 3 though.
There we go. Crazy idea though, Brad. Remember at the St. Louis Science Center where you could build the arches out of those foam blocks? You think you could build a beer stack as some arches?
I tried to build it last year and put a little like have a cardboard slat in between them, to help hold it. But again, that is a lot of just loose cardboard in the house.
Do it with 18s. Have 18s connected. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll figure something out.
We know too much about this shit.
Yeah. One more thing on the Jets-Bills game before we move on. That punt return in overtime.
That was cool.
Undrafted rookie free agent fucking takes it to the house in overtime. It was, 60, 70 yards? It was a long punt return.
Yeah. First move he had, dude. That first move, it was like, you know what I mean? When he went, I think that's how he did it too.
That's how you do it. That's how you get punt returns. You set them up one way and you come back to the far side of the field. And then if you have blockers there, it's on.
Well, you miss one guy and everybody else is blocked in. Like everyone else should have a guy blocked. If you
and he had a pretty good hesitation kind of to let him reset right at the end.
Dude, yes, set up the block at the very end.
Like kind of like almost what McCaffrey did earlier in the day.
When Ayuk ran out in front of him. Yeah.
Slows up and then takes off again.
Yeah.
He plays. He makes football look really, really easy.
Oh. Kind of like Tyreek.
He's keeping white kids everywhere thinking that they can play running back. That's what McCaffrey does.
Definitely. I'm not sure.
I just need a smart play caller.
I don't even think he's white. I think he's clear.
Yeah.
He's like Larry Bird from Space Jam.
All right. Let's go backwards to the Sunday games. Let's talk about the best game of the day Sunday. And that was Dolphins against Chargers. Dolphins get the win on the road. Big win for Tua. Arguably Tua's best game of his career. I got to come out and say, are we being like Tyreek Hill is still the best wide receiver in the league? I think we're silly to not say anybody else. Like Justin Jefferson, I know he had the most receiving yards last year. I watch football. Tyreek Hill like jumps off the screen way more than Jefferson does. Not to take a ton away from Jefferson because he's great too. But Tyreek, he's like the scariest motherfucker in the league. I don't feel like I'm overhyping.
I feel like he doesn't get the love because Like, I listen to Marlon Humphrey's podcast, and he's like, Tyreek's so fast, his double moves don't even work because, like, you're still running as he stops and starts his first.
You're still
you never even realized he stopped.
that when he does his second, it actually gives you a chance to get to him.
Yeah,
right. Because you're there. Right.
I think he loses a little credit because people don't look at him as a route runner. He's just a freak athlete. But you're right. I mean, look at the last year and now when he talks about going for 2,000. Who else in the league could get it?
He would do it. Yeah.
Jefferson stuck with Kirk Cousins. That didn't look too good this week.
No, looked great in one half. He had nothing in the second half. Yeah.
Well, he's terrible. You like that? But I was wondering how many times he said that at the game, dude. You like that?
0. That was what he opened with that statement.
Somebody
that was against the Bucks.
Their beer on Matt.
Oh, I know.
That game was against the Bucks when I liked that game.
To them, dude. I thought
I should, dude. That one was not in my bag. I had a lot of trash talk in my bag on Sunday. That was not in my bag.
It's shocking to me.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was a nice Midwest fan base. Matt pulls this shit on the East Coast.
I was talking way too much shit in an opposing stadium, and the row of Vikings fans in front of me didn't turn around and give me any crap, not even a single time.
They were just like,
I was just shocked. Even
Midwest people.
There were some Bucks fans sitting next to us by coincidence. And they were kind of nudging me on the shoulder, like, man, take it easy. It's like, man, we're in Minnesota. We got nothing to worry about here, man. This is not hostile at all.
Our ass kicked.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck the Bucks. What were we? Get back to
back to Dolphins Chargers. You guys kind of led me down that road.
No,
all right.
I did. You're right. Because I brought up that that.
But Jimmy, Tyreek, best wide receiver in the league. Are you on board too?
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with it, dude. I think this we have this conversation in basketball too every year after a team wins the finals. Oh, he's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world. So anytime there's a good week for a guy in the NFL too, we have a tendency to do that. And I agree, dude, he is amazing. Built into this against a bad fucking Chargers defense, dude. He ripped them up, but
terrible.
They're gonna do that.
Disappointing as fuck. Yeah, it really is.
Out there too, it makes it hard. So obviously they game plan for him well, and that guy's a great game planner. That McDaniel or whatever his name is. So I think on Sunday he was the best wide receiver in football. But I think that we give that award out like that, and it's like, dude,
little loose.
Yeah.
That's like you hear a top 5 corner, and there's
still take
14 guys that are
Justin
top 5
Jefferson
corner
over him. I think overall, but I get in one game, Tyreek can be a game breaker. I mean, we've seen it with Chiefs. We know that. So yeah. That's where I stand on that. I hate these quick to be judgments of, he's the best basketball player. The best baseball player in the world. Yeah, they won the World Series. Let's talk about him next.
Yeah, kind of like Jokic last year in the NBA.
That's exactly.
We're all immediately we say, he's the best basketball player in the world now.
Not great, but I mean,
maybe, but let's not clarify it.
Here,
that's fair. That's fair. And what I want to bring up, and I was too drunk to watch this game, I got to be honest. So I've seen highlights and only highlights. But a bit surprising. A bit surprising, though, looking at the box score, the Chargers have 234 yards rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns. Herbert throws for less than they rushed for, and it's just not what I expected out of the Kellen Moore offense. And if you're running the ball that well, I can't really blame them for sticking with it. But it was surprising to me. So, Brad, you probably watched more of the game than me. Maybe fill me in. It was just that easy for the Chargers to run the ball.
I guess it was that easy, but why is that surprising you? Because Kellen Moore, when he was calling the shots last year, I mean, Zeke and Tony Pollard were both top 15 fantasy football in a standard league running backs. So in a Kellen Moore offense, he had 2 running backs that produced. So I'm I guess not that surprised because I don't think Eckler is that good of a true runner. He also banged up his ankle. So they pretty much stopped using him in the second half. He'd already broke off 2 huge runs. And then Josh Kelly came in, I think had 18 carries, but another 100 yards there. It was just terrible defense all around.
Yeah, that neither one of those teams to me showed nor didn't because Tua's not making it through a full season, dude. I'll bet any of you that
I don't care how many UFC moves.
You can kind of bank on that, and that's really the only thing that stops the Dolphins is Tua gets a concussion, and it sucks, but it's almost bound to happen.
I remember being in the car last year on the radio listening to them talk about.
Unfortunately,
are they the top team in the AFC? And I'm like, dude, this is
Yeah.
It was like November, and I'm like,
And they look like it for a
Why
game
are
at a
we
time. They
even
look
thinking-
like it.
they do. They can look really.
But when you
really
say
good.
these two teams probably have the most big name talent to have two shitty defenses,
I agree with that completely.
they went
Because they
out and-
both do have like
House the
stars on defense, but their defense as a whole, not very good.
Yeah, I
It
don't know.
wasn't last year either for either of these teams.
I just kept
Yeah.
seeing uploads or on Red Zone. That game just kept popping up, and next thing you know, Tyreek's like jumping off, and his helmet's off, and his chain's dangling, and he's just like yelling at people.
I'm
It's just
back.
like, oh, dude, like,
Yeah.
don't fuck with him.
and,
today,
Yeah.
man.
and
He's
it's the
going
third
off.
quarter.
Yeah, right, dude. It's like early.
It's
There's
not like
still a
the
lot of
game's not
time.
over, buddy.
And I think they
Yeah.
were down by like 4, and he's screaming. It's like this one's gonna be high, dude. They're getting like a high because every other game hit the under by like
A lot.
really.
Mhm.
Man. So many turnovers all day. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hit balls and dumb plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see a lot of
QB.
stupidity. A lot of that's, not a lot of people play in the preseason anymore. And so there's a lot of shitty football week one. I
Yeah.
thought we saw that.
We knew, and it was funny watching Red Zone. Brad and I were kind of joking, like, this happens every year. We forget about it. But it's
Mhm.
like, yep, here we are again, week one. Playing like shit.
The unders always hit.
Yeah. I need to write that
About
down
the
for
first
next
2
year.
weeks.
Week one, the
That's what I'm
unders always
saying,
hit.
dude.
Hey, check, if you have legal sports betting this week, Points Bet, the app. If you bet a $50 bet, you get $150 in Fanatics credit. So for a $50 bet, free jersey for 50
need
Yeah.
bucks.
Well,
Instead of spending
plus,
$150 on a threaded
you can win
jersey.
that. You can win that money too. So
Mhm.
we need that plug noise when you like drop
Yeah.
it.
like the money drop.
Yeah, the coin register.
Cha-ching.
Give
Cash register.
a shout out, no free shout out, Points Bet. Check them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
points bet.
We're just giving away shout outs here. Usually we don't do free ads, but no.
Hayes Music with a K.
Hey, it's a pretty good deal. Who doesn't want a jersey?
All right, so that's Chargers Dolphins. I'm disappointed in the Chargers.
I know you are.
Herbert's my dude.
We-
Herbert hasn't I've
You got
kind
a
of
lot
been
of
led,
guys, man.
I've
You
kind of
got a
been
lot of
led-
guys.
but I got to say, like, Herbert's got to win me back over a little bit. I've kind of seen too many. The playoff game last year where they blew a 27-0 lead. He had a chance to win the game on
The
Sunday.
Jags.
Throws a bad that one. The one play I did see, Brad and Jimmy, the intentional grounding by Herbert on the last drive. That was bad. Like I love Herbert, but that was just a bad intentional grounding. He really wasn't under that much heat. Come on, man. I need more from you.
I can't help you there, man.
He's just not that good.
I think they have.
No,
yeah.
he is. I've seen it. He is that good.
Well,
He needs to get it together. He needs to get all the way there.
We play
need
to
him.
win the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
and
He
they
doesn't
got
do it
mashed.
enough times yet for me.
They did
All
not
right.
show up.
All right. Enough about Justin
What was
Herbert.
the final of that game?
Like 38, 34, somewhere in the
Yeah.
mid 30s.
You don't gotta look it up. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
It's somewhere
That
close
was
to
like the
that.
last I saw it, but I didn't remember if like they had gone any deeper. I was
So
Fantasy football
just
game.
impressed at that.
let's talk about our teams, guys. Jimmy, you want to start with your
I can
Broncos
start,
and keep
yeah.
it brief? We'll
I'll be
keep it
quick.
brief if you
It
want
was
to.
easy. It was easy. Yeah,
Okay.
it's easy to do. I think we looked better. I think that we don't know how to win, and I think I don't really understand why. Well, I do. We got rid of McManus to get Lutz, and by doing so, we were trying to get money to get Frank Clark, and he went offside again. Or I know that was the other guy. Brad told me that. But either way, I don't like Frank Clark just because I always think it was that guy that played for the Chiefs that went offsides in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots.
Yeah, the Chiefs paid him way too much money.
So
he
we
was
paid
not
that
great
guy.
for the
That's why
Chiefs.
we cut McManus so fucking douchebag could get his kicker Lutz, and then we lose by 1, and we lost 4 points on field goals.
Mhm.
One was a 55-yarder, but he also missed an extra point, and we lost by 1 to
Yep.
the Raiders.
Tough.
That's about all I got to say. We didn't sack
And-
Jimmy
Yeah.
G one time. Now I will say Surtain, dude. I think
He is too, baby.
Devontae had fucking 2 catches on Sunday. He locked him down, dude. And then we get a fucking they had first and whatever on or whatever it was, and they got down to the 1-yard line, PI, and get down to the 1. They go 3 and out. They throw a pick on like 3rd or 4th and goal. Defense played phenomenal, man. And I think the onside kick to start the game. Did you see that? Like I thought Sean
Yeah, I
Payton,
did. I did think that was kind of funny.
Oh,
And it
dog.
almost worked,
it
though.
would have worked.
Yeah.
And I can't, because if that's you, it's hard to not grab for it because you're so pumped that you're like, oh my God, it's there. If he waits another half, like that far.
But if you're on the onside kick recovery team, you got to know. You got to just know.
Yeah.
It's like going offsides in hockey.
These aren't
Kinda,
his guys,
you know?
though. That's the
Yeah.
issue. And I think he's building it the more. So next year, it'll be a guy that is his guy that's on that special teams. He's dealing with these guys at Nathaniel Hackett and fucking dipshit before that.
Yeah, stuff to change everything right away.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I thought we looked better, but I still
Same result as last year, though.
We don't know
So
how to win.
yeah, he's noticed some improvement in certain areas, but
I didn't understand.
Same result as last year.
And I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Now it proved itself. So yeah,
I
They
think
learned how to shut down
He was
Jacob.
perfect.
So
he was perfect on field goals. By the way,
I think by the time Peyton, makes them a Super Bowl contender, because I think he will in Denver.
Russ is gone.
I think
want
Russ
him
is
to-
gone before they're Super Bowl
I
contenders.
want to honestly
what I
want to
think.
lose out and get a good quarterback. That is like my God's honest
Yep.
truth. I don't care about this year.
Well, Peyton's seen plenty of Jameis, and he was in division with him for a while.
what about trading for Kyler?
No,
That's
no.
a risky move. That's a risky move, and like it's almost
That's a
maybe
risky
going
move.
back down the same well you went down with Russ.
Potentially.
You know?
I don't think that Russ. Well, he had two amazing drives. One right before halftime, and it was like a couple of like 8-minute, 14 play drives. Got about 80 yards, dude. Like they looked good, and the touchdown passes. I don't know if there was a game last year that he threw 2 touchdown passes like that. So
No, he had like
I
the
think-
same stat line game 1 of last year that they also lost in a real
but they
close
lost
game.
that on the get clock management with Nathaniel Hackett. That wasn't.
That was a lot of it.
And yeah, I think we looked better. Like we're there. We don't know how to win. So
Just beat the Chiefs. Just beat the Chiefs one of the 2 chances you got at them this year and call it a winning season.
I will, dude.
That's all you need. That's all you need is
God,
to
you
beat
have
the
no
Chiefs
idea.
once.
Since I met Katrine, they have not beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Man,
So she's just like, oh, they're playing the Chiefs today.
like I won't.
All
Talk
right,
to you after
I'm
the
gonna
game.
go
to
out
bed.
somewhere. I'm gonna run some
Yeah.
errands.
Yes, like she goes. Fucking bolt. Her friends are like, yeah, whatever. Move
What's
on.
the
God damn it.
What's surprising though, they've also lost like 7 straight to the Raiders, which is shocking because the Raiders haven't been like incredible in that stretch of 7 games.
Right.
Yeah,
That surprised me when I heard that.
cool,
So I
man.
don't,
Yeah.
not a good number that came
Hey,
across.
fuck off. All right, to your team. The only reason they won was because of Baker Mayfield. So you know what? I mean, thank God for
Hey.
Baker, right? Thank
Hey.
God for Baker. Admit
Let's-
we were right.
Let's me
Hey,
clap
right.
for Baker. Let's me clap for Baker because he made clutch plays. Baker made clutch plays. He was fantastic when it counted.
Actually,
I saw
see the
Baker
time-
got the
I see the
angry
time
run.
we're at like
today.
5:50. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go a little longer
Baker
than the
got the
Broncos,
angry
Matt,
run.
or
Yeah.
Brad and Matt. If you want to, and then Brad, you fit in the Ravens, and we'll squeeze
And we'll just-
Matt's last 30
we'll-
seconds into
Hey,
the Bucks.
but I told you guys this Bucks defense was great. We
They
go
played
up to
good.
Minnesota. We
They played
force
good.
3 turnovers. The Vikings get the ball 2 times in the 4th quarter. We force 2 3-and-outs.
They played good.
Justin Jefferson cooks us in the first half for 138 yards. We hold Justin Jefferson to only 12 yards in the second half.
They played good.
Really incredible performance by the defense on the road.
As an outsider in
And-
the NFL, they see
and
the
that's-
game and go.
But
It's like the Broncos and the Raiders game.
honestly,
First
but
of all,
it seemed like one of the better games
Yeah.
on Sunday in comparison to a lot of
The
the
way
other
it
football.
worked out, but
Yeah.
one cares
No,
about
I
it.
mean it was pretty bad football on both sides.
Yeah, and no one wants to hear.
I
about
don't
it.
think it's Tampa's that good. I think it's Minnesota got a lot worse.
I mean, Minnesota was 13-4 last year.
Yeah, but they got
They were
That's-
13-4
exactly.
last
lost
year.
Dalvin Cook.
That's what I
That's-
just said. You didn't
they
get
got
any
worse.
worse. They got a lot worse.
Running backs don't
What I
matter
said, they
that
already
much.
Got defensive.
All right.
They lost a lot more than that. But anyways, neither team can run the ball.
Yeah, that was a boring game.
Now, our offensive line is below average, but that's another thing I want to bring up is our offensive line is below average, at least, and don't think I'm saying Baker's better than Tom Brady. I'm not saying that, but Baker avoided 3 or 4 sacks
I think
on Sunday that Brady last year would have curled up into a ball and just fucking laid down on the ground.
fair enough. Yeah,
And that's just like
how old's Baker?
just facts. A lot younger and a lot more agile.
And the
But
reason that he did
you need that with a subpar offensive line.
the reason
And
that he can do that
it
is
works.
why he won't play till 46 like Brady did and won a Super Bowl.
That's fine with me.
Whatever it is.
I don't need him. I just need him for a few years. If he lasts
Matt's ready
that
for
long.
a few years with Baker now. One game, he's ready to put a couple years in.
Week
He's ready
8,
to
he's
lock
gonna
him
win
up
a
and
Super Bowl.
extend them.
I
Brad,
like that he has to admit that he's good. Like that Baker is
dude,
dope.
I like
love
it.
dude.
When he's
And
on my
every
team,
game.
when he's on my team, I like his attitude a
There
lot
you
better.
go, man. Yeah,
Before it
buddy.
rubbed me the wrong way because he was bad and had this like cocky
He
attitude.
beat the
Just wait
Steelers in the
till he starts
playoffs.
doing.
Yeah,
He beat the Steelers
that
in the
Browns team
playoff
was
game.
pretty damn good though, but he could do the same
Oh
thing
my
for us.
God.
That Browns team was pretty fucking good.
All right, on to Brad's Ravens because we got 3.5.
Baker could have beat the Chiefs in the playoffs if he could have made a few more plays.
No,
You know
that
what,
was
Baker
a dumb out of bounds. Dive.
Baker would
Remember
do some of those
Brad-
insurance commercials in Tampa, but nobody will insure any of those fucking houses in Tampa. So
Yeah, that's a good
Did you
point.
watch the game at the Bucs Stadium.
I might make it down. If they're in playoff contention, I might go down there for Christmas. We'll see.
they're just gonna disappoint you again.
Wait, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay for that. That'll be
Last
fun.
year, the
Going out-
trip down there,
Go ahead.
it was fun.
Energetic Bucs
It was fun, but
fans,
the
yeah.
game was not. The game itself was not fun.
Fire
Seeing them
those
lose to
cannons.
the
Everyone's like,
Chiefs.
shut up, shut up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were. The Bucks fans around me were telling me to be quiet. And Raymond James,
All right.
Your butt.
Brad,
yeah.
get your Ravens talking. They played the Texans, so we don't need to.
It was a boring
Blush
game. They
over it.
played it like they knew they were gonna win.
Yeah. Well, at least
I
they
mean,
got it done
They were
convincingly.
sloppy. I thought Stroud didn't look too bad. A lot of penalties. I think there was 23 penalties between the two teams.
That
was
is
just,
sloppy.
again, it was kind of like Tampa minutes. It was not a fun game to watch.
Uh,
Like the end score, it was
all over.
yeah.
the J.K. Dobbins shit sucks because I really like J.K.
I felt bad for him.
And when he's been healthy, he's been pretty damn amazing.
Especially they wanted to do an extension. He wanted one. They didn't want to do it. And then first game he plays, he pops it, and he's a free agent at the end of this year. So
Life of a running back. Life of a fucking
I
running
remember when
back.
that happened, Brad. And we were on here.
I'm just
It's like,
Would-
he's done.
you just got to feel for him. It's like Rodgers. You know, it's just
Would you like to trade for Jonathan Taylor? Is it something you'd want them to do?
I'd love to see it. I don't think they'll do it.
I want them there.
It's just not. It's not usually the way the Ravens would operate.
They got Melvin.
but-
They had Melvin Gordon on their practice squad for a reason. They'll go with that
Man.
until somebody else gets hurt. Maybe then.
I'd rather
but
them do the Justice Hill, Gus
I will
Edwards thing
guarantee
before.
now they never signed Kareem Hunt. After the Ray Rice stuff, they will never sign Kareem Hunt. I
It's
can
another
promise that one.
thing that could work for him.
It's not going to ever happen in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I can
not
promise
poor
that.
Ray Rice. Actually, I'm not saying.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful there. You're going to get us all.
Yeah.
Even that girl's probably like, God damn, why was I talking so much shit?
Well,
that
yeah.
night?" Like
They are still married. They are still married.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry for all the people out there whose teams we completely missed because we just ran out of time in week 1. We might be able to save some time after this trivia episode next, Jimmy, where we can fill in some of the shit we missed. But
Yeah.
that's week 1. We got fucking 17 more to go, boys. Cheers.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sure.